stuff were you involved with when you were around? Was it more street stuff, or you were in construction? What were some of the stuff that you were involved with? If you could speak to it.
Who are you talking to?
Jimmy, if he doesn't mind.
Tom, I was in the trash and recycling business in the mid to late 80s.
Got it.
And at that point, I believe it or not, I went to sell cars.
Nice.
Yeah. And I had a great life. I'm retired now, and I love it.
After you did a little stay in...
Oh, yeah. We all get a pinch of law when you brush up against the edge of the cliff. You either sink or pull yourself back. So, yes, I put a little federal time in.
Did you guys see Netflix did a show, and it talked about the Thrashers? It was a guy who was associated with the Genovese who was big into garbage, and then he owned a hockey team somewhere in Connecticut. And
that's
very nice man.
Yeah, there's a documentary they got to see, and I'll post the name in the comments when I remember. But that was one of the best. They just created a hockey team and did whatever the fuck they wanted, and it was the funniest thing ever. And they did pretty much whatever they wanted, and which brings it to the point that, and I think this goes for New York all the way up to where you guys are. The hauling and waste management has always been very Gambino and Genovese friendly. Is that and dominated? Is that fair to say, Anthony? In your opinion, it's always been heavily with you guys and Gambino, no matter where they were, where the five families were. Do you agree with that?
Elaborate on that if I can. That is partial truth and partial false.
Okay.
There was a lot of good, hardworking people in the trash and recycling business that put their overalls on every day.
Yeah.
And fought the fight. They fought the fight, and it was really not as true as what people made it out to be. Now, It was a different ball game in New York City.
Correct.
Connecticut had a lot of mom and pop shops.
Okay.
And eventually they sold. And then some individuals turned around and sold their companies to a giant by the name of Waste Management.
Waste Management, Martin.
Tom, the garbage companies in our area were controlled, and it's very, the garbage industry was like the cartels of the drugs. That's how big it was, especially when it filtered into Connecticut in our area. They were still with somebody connected, like the Galanti and there's huge. Like when he says waste management, USA Trash, the Antonucci's, they're the biggest one around here.
I don't think that they'd have any ties on it.
Prior to them. They're not going to come.
No, absolutely.
Well, let me just say this. So when Bruno was boss of the area, he had us go approach this. You're talking one of the biggest trash business there is. Probably ranks right up there with a waste management. That's how big they are. They control it. We were getting involved in the trash business at the time. He sent us, me and another guy, to go see these guys and bring them to a country club that Bruno played golf at, and it was a private membership. He played cards there. Nice. We went. Long story short, we had to threaten these guys. Now these guys are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. We finally get them there, pretty much by threats and violence. But we bring them to the club to meet Bruno, and they said straight out of their mouth that, Bruno, listen, if you want 20,000, we'll give you 20,000, but we can't have anything to do with you with the garbage, because the feds cracked down that hard on it, and with any organized crime involvement, they would have shut down their business. But they wanted to give him 20,000. I don't know if he took it. I know I didn't get a piece of it if he did, but started our own garbage business with another independent garbage man, and like I said, it was and we can talk about this another show, Tom, but we had all get the contracts for the containers, and that's what we did. So we went into competition, and we were their competition, and that's how we got involved with the garbage.
I want to kind of dovetail with